Up until Friday night, the central idea of the Mitt Romney for President campaign was under some real pressure. The central idea, of course, was this: count on the economy being bad, blame President Obama for that, and present Mr. Romney as a somewhat generic, not Obama alternative, a businessman, a job-creating economic fix-it guy. The problem for the Romney campaign is that the Romney campaign was not able to define Mr. Romney as such before the Obama campaign defined him. The Obama campaign replaced that image of Mitt Romney as a generic business guy with a not generic image of Mitt Romney as a hugely wealthy financier investor who devoted himself more than anything to the avoidance of paying taxes. The unexpected star of the effort to portray Mr. Romney that way was the usually soft-spoken Democratic Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid.
If a person coming before this body wanted to be a cabinet officer, he couldn't be if he had he did the same refusal Mitt Romney does about tax returns. So the word's out that he hasn't paid any taxes for 10 years. Let him prove that he has paid taxes, because he hasn't.
Now, in fairness, Harry Reid's accusation has no visible basis in fact. Senator Reid says a Bain investor told him that Mitt Romney had paid no taxes in 10 years, but Senator Reid offered no proof of that. The Romney campaign, of course, went apoplectic. The Republican Party chairman called Harry Reid not just a liar, but a dirty liar. Mr. Romney himself said, of course, he had paid taxes. He said he had paid a lot of taxes. But he also said we had to take his word on it, trust him. And everything we do know about Mr. Romney and his taxes, both in his business life and his personal life, does show rather heroic efforts to avoid paying taxes. But he says he will not show his taxes to anyone. We just have to trust him on it. And so everybody has just kept wondering what the deal is with Mitt Romney and his taxes. Then, as of 1 minute after midnight, Friday night into Saturday, Mitt Romney picked Wisconsin Congressman Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan, the budget guy with the blue eyes and the ripped abs. Now everybody would certainly talk about that, right? Talk about Paul Ryan and not Mitt Romney and his taxes and his tax returns. It did not work out like that.
How many years of tax returns did you turn over to the campaign?
It was a very exhaustive vetting process. It's a confidential vetting process, so there were several years, but I'm going to release the same amount of years that Governor Romney has. But I got to tell you, Bob.
And how many was that?
He's two. I'm going to be releasing two, which is what he's releasing. What I hear from people around this country, they're not asking where are the tax returns.
Not to be pushy, but where are the tax returns? Because however implausible the Romney folks wanted us to think it was, when Harry Reid said that rich guy Mitt Romney was paying zero taxes, however wacky they tried to make that seem, the new problem on the tax returns thing for the Romney campaign is that in picking Paul Ryan as his would-be vice president, under Paul Ryan's tax plan, Mitt Romney really would pay zero in taxes. It's not exactly true. He would pay zero taxes on the more than $20 million we know he made from Bain in 2010. The only thing he would pay taxes on is the money he made giving speeches and writing a book. So on over $20 million in income for the 1 year where we know what his taxes were, Mitt Romney, under Paul Ryan's plan, would pay less than 1% in taxes. So now the tax return issue for Mitt Romney is worse than it was before. Before, he wanted us to trust him that, of course, he had never paid zero in taxes. Now he has just picked a vice president who would ensure that Mitt Romney, in fact, paid basically zero in taxes. So does that make you trust him more or less about him saying he paid plenty of taxes over the past 10 years? Are you more likely to believe that, or are you less likely to believe it? And maybe wanting to bolster your belief in it by actually seeing some evidence. This tax returns problem just got worse for Mitt Romney, not better. That does it for us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow night. Now it's time for The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Have a good one.